Greetings. This is positivologist Lynette Turner. Come on in, sit in your favorite chair or couch, grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. The positivologist is in the house. As a positivologist, I work with individuals and groups of people to help you create the most productive, proactive, and positive life possible. I am a certified Angel Speak facilitator, a certified dream teacher with the Robert Moss School of Active Dreaming. I am a positivity coach, a Reiki practitioner, a sound healer, and an ordained interfaith, interspiritual minister. So I'm here to be of service to you. You can reach out to me further by way of my website, which is www.positivebliss.com. And while there on my homepage, sign up to receive my free weekly positivity message. We can all use a little positivity now and then, I think you'll all agree. So this is a show that focuses on living our lives from a positive perspective. We all have issues and challenges that we have to deal with, and we have to take action in order to deal with those issues and challenges. But there's no reason we can't do that from a place of positivity. Doing so helps us have focus, raises our vibration, and really assists us in being successful in achieving the things that we want to achieve. So on this show, an array of guests join me, sharing their expertise on a variety of topics that can play a role in you living the most positive life you can. And tonight I'm very excited to have dream expert and friend Adelita Torino here on the show. And Adelina knows so much about dreams, you're just going to be glued to the screen as we talk about the power and the energy of dreams. Adelina is also a certified dream teacher with the Robert Moss School of Active Dreaming. She's a lecturer, and she offers workshops and seminars, and she's just all around awesome. So I'm so excited to have her here. So Adelina, welcome to the show, my friend.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be here with you, Lynette, my favorite positivologist.
And it's a tongue twister. I can't put that just to see what people, if they can really get it out when they say positivologist. Oh, well, I'm so delighted because we're going to be talking about a topic which is so close to both of our hearts, which is
absolutely
the power and the energy of dreaming. So before we start, though, I want to turn it over to you for a few minutes to tell us anything else about your amazing stuff that you'd like to share with our viewers, and also how people can reach you after the show if they'd like to reach out to you.
Well, thank you, Lynette. Yeah, I started out as an English major and thinking that that was going to be my career, but it was really my dream life that set me on the course of fascination with the dream world. I studied scriptural studies and pastoral counseling at Colgate Rochester Divinity School, so I did my master's work there, and then got a certification in transpersonal and humanistic psychotherapy because I wanted to help people connect with their dreams. It wasn't until I really started working with the work that both you and I do, Active Dreaming, Robert Moss's School of Active Dreaming, that I found the real sweet spot in terms of helping people connect to their dreams. I have a Facebook page that people can connect with me on, so Lita Dreaming, L-I-T-A, and that's an acronym for Love is the Answer. So Lita Dreaming.
How cool is that?
Well, I discovered a long time ago, my name is Adelita, and my nickname is Lita, and then I realized, wow, that stands for Love is the Answer. So I use that. And also I have a blog that I love answering just questions, common questions that people have about dreaming, and it's Lita Dreaming, so litadreaming.blogspot.com. I'd love to have people visit me there. I have a video production company, Psyche Productions, with my husband Jim, and we were completely blessed to be able to work with Robert Moss to create an 8-program introduction to active dreaming, a DVD set, which I just happen to have right here.
Good.
So I'll hold it up. I don't know if you can, if it's shiny and you can see it, but anyway, it's a wonderful introduction, and you can get that at our website, Psyche, P-S-Y-C-E, productions.net. Also a drumming CD that we did with him.
Which
And
is
so,
awesome. That's awesome. They're all awesome. Yeah, they're wonderful tools. Wonderful
thank
tools.
you. So, yeah, and then on my website is my email, LitaDreaming@optonline.net, so people can get a hold of me that way. And I welcome anybody to connect who's interested in going beyond where they already have reached in terms of connecting to their dreams.
Right. Well,
So,
great, Adelita. Lots of ways to reach out to you, and your blog is absolutely amazing. It's wonderful, and the CDs you produce are also great. So I encourage people to connect with you in that way. So
thank
you
you.
are a dreaming girl. You are dreaming is your world. So I happen to know that you actually love dreams. You love working with dreams. So what does that mean to you? Why do you love dreaming? Um, why do you think you feel as connected to that energy in that world as you are?
Well, I started working with my dreams in my early 20s. And what I've found all these many years later is that dreaming gives you access to two worlds. So it really doubles your life. You're living not just the adventures of your waking life, but if you really engage with your dreams, you live a double life. You live a connection with a dream life that can be just as rich and just as exciting, perhaps even more so sometimes, because the limitations are so much less than they are in waking. So I find that it just gives me avenues to explore adventures, and also I call dreaming organic spirituality. I believe that it is the gateway for everyone to their higher self, to their own spiritual authority, and the assurity that we are all, eternal spirits living a physical life.
Well, Adelita, have you encountered people who tell you that they can't dream or they don't remember their dreams? How do you guide and help those people? Because I know that's happened with me too. People are like, I've never had a dream. Like, yes, you have. That's right.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Um, that's one of the most common things that we encounter, and that I've encountered. Are you hearing any feedback or any sound problem?
No, I hear you fine.
Okay, fine. I just wanted to double check with that. But it is the number one thing. People say, I don't dream. And of course, we know that, yes, you dream, because since the 50s and the experimentation that was done with sleep and dreaming in Chicago, that the rapid eye movement stage, the REM stage, indicates that people dream. So of course we know that everybody dreams. It's just that people don't remember. But my favorite thing to say to people when they say, well, I just don't remember my dreams, I say, well, do you want to? Are you paying attention? Because if you're not even paying attention, then of course your dreams are going to slip away from you. And I encourage people, look, before you go to bed, set your intention to dream. And then after you wake up, pay attention, soft attention. Ask yourself, where was I? Who was I with? What was I doing? And all the people that I've worked with, and I've taught students who stay with me for a little while, and so I get to see them evolve, and after a little while, they start dreaming again, and it's just a wonder for them. It's so rewarding.
It's great, and it's amazing if the people who were saying, "Oh, I never remember my dreams. I'm never going to remember my dreams." Like, well, you know what? If you tell yourself that you're never going to remember your dreams, you're never going to remember your dreams. You have to, like you said, set your intention and be open to what this amazing world has to share with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very suggestive realm. Actually, everything, right? Everything we tell ourselves is very important. And so to tell ourselves, I dream often and my dreams are wonderful. Absolutely.
We don't always know our own power.
Exactly.
Sure. So, Adelita, are there any particular dream experiences that you've had that have been really profound for you that you might share with the viewers?
Oh, yeah. I've had many. In fact, for me, my dreams have been a roadmap as far as taking me through the changes, both difficult and exciting, that I've had in my life. So I've had several dreams that were precognitive, that I was set on one course, and not that I followed a dream, but I had a dream that saw me doing something completely different, and just the way things worked out, there I ended up doing the things. For instance, I wanted to be a graduate student in literature, and I had this amazing dream that it would take you too long to talk about, but it was definitely a precursor to me going to divinity school and becoming actually a candidate for ordination in the Catholic Church as a woman, because there was a big movement when I was in divinity school for that. And my dreams laid it out so clearly for me. So I became convinced that we dream the future all the time.
Right, right.
But one of my favorite dreams is, I meditate from time to time. I've practiced Tai Chi, so I certainly know about moving meditation, which is Tai Chi. But one time I dreamt that just woke up to this voice that said, "Can the ego be dissolved? What is the role of the observer?" And I thought, well, that's an interesting dream, and I wrote it down. A month later, I had this amazing lucid dream where I was in the presence of this incredible light, or actually I wasn't in the presence, I was in this incredible light.
So tell the viewers what lucid dreaming is, just in case they don't know.
Lucid dreaming is when you're dreaming and you're aware that you're dreaming. I'm sure many people have had the experience and don't realize that's what it's called. But and I believe that all dreams are important, regardless of whether you're lucid or out of body or whatever. There's stages of dreaming, but it's all important. But in this particular dream, I was aware that I was in this other dimension, and I'm part of this light. And as I was coming back into consciousness and waking up in my bed, I heard myself say to myself, "I'll never be able to explain this, not even to myself." This feeling of being not my ego, this feeling of being one, and I had to laugh because people meditate for years and years to get that experience. And that's part of what's so wonderful about dreaming, that you get these incredible gifts just free. Just
It's accessible to everybody. That's what I tell everybody. It doesn't matter where you come from, where you live, how much money you make. This is this amazing landscape that's available to everybody. So you shared a bit about precognitive dreaming, so dreaming before something happens, and lucid dreaming. What about recurring dreams? So I have this recurring dream where everyone knows that everybody has a vice, and my vice is sugar. Like, I totally love sugar. I don't drink, I don't smoke, but I just really love sugar. And when
that's because you're so sweet.
Oh, Lita, it's so nice of you to say. But whenever I'm just a little bit over the edge, or maybe a lot over the edge, I have this reoccurring dream where I'm in a vat of cotton candy. You know how the cotton candy machine spins and spins, and it never stops. And so the only way to get out is like, eat your way out of the cotton candy. So when I have that dream, that reoccurring dream, I'm like, okay, Lynette, get a grip. Back off with the sugar. Step away from the cotton candy. So is this common for people to have reoccurring dreams?
Reoccurring dreams, I think, are important because they do sort of signify an issue that's coming back for a person. Sometimes. Other times, I think that it might be that it's something that someone hasn't, like, you've paid attention to it and you have a sense of what that dream means when it comes back. But many people have the same dream over and over, and they haven't really paid attention to it, and so it intensifies, or it definitely will come back until you pay attention and get to the bottom of what that dream is about. I like to tell people to take notice of any variation, because each dream has its own setting, its own action, And the variations in it can be a clue to how things might be changing in your life. So is that spinning merrily? Is there music going? What are the differences? And I think that adds a lot to understanding. But recurring dreams are usually a real good indicator that there's something you need to look at and it doesn't always have to be a negative thing either. It might be a call to some kind of understanding about yourself that you have hidden, some talent, some desire. But it's all about the fact that the dream source will keep tapping on our door until we pay attention.
Yeah. And I find the next notch up from that can be if people have nightmares. So of course people don't like nightmares, but I'm always a little excited by nightmares because I'm like, okay, you really need to pay attention to something you're not paying attention with. Let's go in and figure out what this is. So what's your experience been with dealing with nightmares and working with people who have nightmares?
Absolutely. I'm with you, Lynette, that nightmares can be your best friends. I do always like to add the caveat that I'm not talking about post-traumatic stress dreams here. That's a whole different story because the psyche is playing back something that has really shaken to the core the personality and the soul of the person. So it needs to be addressed with a very understanding counseling. But other than that, your garden variety nightmare is your best friend. And I find that the best way to deal with a nightmare, as Robert always says, is to brave up and go back into the dream and face whatever it is. And you don't have to face it alone. I might take you with me in my, another brave dream explorer, or facing, I once had a dream where I was being attacked by this murderous madman. So I got on my elephant, which is my power animal. When I went back in and I was facing him on the elephant, and it was a wonderful conversation, especially considering the way he came on. So it's an amazing source of revelation when we listen to what our nightmares are trying to tell us. Usually it's just something we're running away from and we need to address. Right. But we don't have to do it alone. We have allies, we have help, and that's an important part of working with your dreams, knowing that anything is possible in the dream space and nothing can hurt you. You're an eternal being and nothing can hurt you.
It'll be okay. It's just like if someone has a dream and someone's chasing them, and it's like, well, go back into the dream and turn around and ask the person why they're chasing you. They may well be telling you, don't go around the corner, you're going to fall off the cliff. Quite often they're trying to help you and give you advice. You touched about something I think is really important, and that is our dream guides are our allies. Can you talk a bit, and you talked about an elephant, and you can have many, many different dream guides. I have a giraffe and a panther and a hawk. Can you talk a little bit about the dream guides and the allies that the folks out there can ask to come along with them on their dream journey?
When you start recording your dreams, you begin to be familiar with the characters, and whether they be in the form of people or whether they be in the form of animals that come to you in dreams, and also with the kind of energy that those characters carry. The dreams that I've had of elephants are always dreams that when I wake up from them, I feel so happy and so connected and so accompanied that I knew after a little while that elephants are my power animals. And I think, when people start to just pay attention and watch what comes to them in dreams, and so then collect them. When you've made friends with it, even if you're being chased by a tiger, if you have the courage to turn around and say, what do you want? And listen to that animal can become your ally. Once that happens, then what a powerful resource for you to go back into other dreams accompanied by a tiger. But guides also in terms of people that show up that, give you messages or give you support or reflect a part of you that you've been hiding and not really nourishing. Those characters show up again and again, maybe looking a little differently, but you come to recognize them. And once you do, then they become your allies and friends. So it's really a matter, just like in life, how do you discover who's your friend? You know, as time goes on and you have more interactions with them, you realize this person means me well, and this person makes me feel good. So I have this connection with them. It's the same in the dream world.
And you just don't have to travel alone. So it can be an animal, it can be the energy or spirit of a loved one on the other side. It can be an angel. One of my dream guides is a giraffe, and her name is Infinity. Giraffes have these long, beautiful necks, and I love to just ride on the back of Infinity. And she always shows up when I need to really take a long view of something, when I need to look at a number of perspectives. So I know that's why she's here. That's why she's here to help me, to guide me. So yeah, each of these guides and allies can help you with different things and be there for a different purpose. It's totally fascinating.
Totally fascinating. And you're right, Lynette, and if you're just starting and you don't really have your own sense of what this animal is about, well then, do a search online and find out, any qualities about this animal, both in mythology and in natural habitat kind of thing. What's this animal like? What's this animal known for? Gather all the information that you can and see how it reverberates with you. And I know that when I need to feel strong, I just make sure that I'm very aware of my elephant. Who's going to argue with an elephant?
Nobody. So Adelita, talk a bit about how the people you work with that you coach, what's that process like? How do you work with them?
Oh, so there's so many wonderful rewards about working with people, opening dream gates for people. One story from a recent group that I had was a woman who said, I used to love dreaming when I was a child because I used to fly a lot in my dreams. But I don't dream, I don't remember my dreams anymore, and I certainly don't fly in them. And so, of course, over the weeks that we were meeting together, I would encourage her to, first of all, ask for flying dreams, and also just pay attention. Again, pay attention and record your dreams. It's really important to keep that record because they're very ephemeral, and they will dissolve like mist. So you need to recall them as quickly as you can and write them down. But so she had been doing it for a little while, and we were in a group, and she starts talking. This dream where she was driving a car, and I was like in a cloud, and I'm sitting there looking at her, laughing, thinking, yeah, you were flying. And she realized it, and she was over the moon because she realized that she had connected again with that childhood self that was a dreamer and could fly, and that she had that back. And I have story upon story for people, who just, they don't think that they can make that connection, but it's so accessible. It's right there.
Right. Again, for everybody. It's for everybody. So let's talk about active dreaming and this whole process. For our viewers, we've been talking about Robert Moss because Robert Moss is wonderful. Robert Moss is a dream teacher, an amazing writer, a great mentor, and both Adelita and I have worked with him for many years. And so, we thought it'd be great for Adelita or us to talk about the whole sort of active dreaming process. What is that?
Right. You and I both have had so much fun working in this process. It's so accessible compared to other approaches to working with dreams that I've used because it's not intellectual at all. Basically, it's a combination of the best that has been developed in modern dream work with shamanic approaches, indigenous people's approaches to understanding and incorporating dreams into their lives. So it's not an intellectual approach, it's a very experiential approach. And there's basic tools that we use, that we teach people to use to work with their dreams: the lightning dream work process, the dream reentry, going back into your dreams, and that is one of my favorites. And then dream theater, where we all act out dreams. So do you want to talk about the lightning dream work process and what it is? We'll take turns, and you start. What is, how would you?
Well, why don't we just, we'll quickly go through a dream. So, Adelita, is there a short dream that you can share with our viewers that you had?
Yes. Let's see. Let me. Here's one that I had recently that I actually shared with Robert on the radio, but it's just stuck in my head right now. So
just so the viewers know, so this is the process that Robert developed, and he's taught us around the world to use to help people connect with their dreams. Okay, take it away, Adelita.
Thank you. And he calls it the lightning dream work approach because it's so fast. Here's my dream. So the name of the dream is Wind. It's let me just. Wind Horse. That's the name of it. Wind Horse.
Okay.
And I'm in a camp of gypsies, and we're camped on the beach. And the beach is a wonderful beach, like the beaches in California, you know, just wild but gorgeous. And we're just having this wonderful time. There's a camp, and people are happy and dancing. It's a very romanticized view of gypsies, but that was my dream gypsy camp. And I left everyone else, and I was walking on the shore. And as I'm walking on the shore, I see this incredible horse coming towards me. It's very, very large, beautiful stallion, chocolate brown, the most incredible animal. And I look at it, and it looks at me, and there is such a connection that is just being transmitted between us. I am not afraid. I am completely drawn to this horse, and I know this horse feels the same way about me. So then I go up to it, and I'm walking with it back to the camp, and it starts going towards the ocean, and I sort of just pull it back gently because I'm afraid that it's not a good idea. Although I think to myself in the dream, I'm sure it's all right. I'm sure this horse knows what it can do. And then I wake up.
Ooh. Okay, so you shared the name of the dream was Wind Horse?
Yes.
Okay, and Adelita, how did you feel when you woke up? How did you feel after coming?
You can imagine how I felt when I woke up. I was over the moon. The feeling of this special connection with this beautiful animal. So yes, I was happy, elated.
Okay, so let's do the reality check. Did you recognize the environment, the place, the particular horse?
I didn't recognize anything about it, Lynette, only that perhaps the ocean was more like the Pacific Ocean than the ocean that I live here in Connecticut near, which is more the Sound. So, yeah, but really nothing. The beach wasn't familiar to me, and I certainly don't know the horse, and I don't know too many gypsies.
Well, maybe you will be knowing some gypsies.
Maybe I will.
Could any of these events happen in waking life? Could any of this occur in waking life?
You and I both know that we never say never when it comes to after a little experience, even the most bizarre things can somehow manifest. So anything is possible.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But not necessarily expected.
Right, right. Well, what is it that you'd like to know about the dream?
I'd like to know what my connection with this horse is.
Well, if it were my dream, and for the viewers, we always preface when we're giving feedback or insight to someone else's dream, if it were my dream, because it's not my dream, it's the other person's dream. But we have insight and instincts and feelings about the dream that we share, which can sometimes help the dreamer. So if it were my dream, there are horses around Connecticut. There are places you can go where there are horses. I might keep my mind open to an opportunity that might come up for me to have some sort of engagement with this animal. If it were my dream, I wonder if maybe this might be another ally as a dream guide to travel with me in the dream space. And if it were my dream, I would also think about the energy and power of the water, like you were on the beach. And there are so many beaches. And I happen to know you live walking distance from an amazing, beautiful beach, which I know you visit. But I wonder if there's some message that you might encounter by spending some more time at that water and just being open to really engaging with them, with this animal. And also, there's always, for me, this sense of freedom with the water and with beaches and with the movement of the animal. So is there an additional sense of freedom that's coming your way? It felt so good in the dream, and how amazing it would be for me to feel that also in waking life.
Absolutely. I love your emphasis on connecting to the beach. Obviously I do live by the beach, but to go and connect more with the energy of the water, especially not to let winter keep me from doing that.
Right, because it can be sort of like, it's too cold and chilly outside.
I know.
So, Annalena, how are you going to honor the dream?
Well, this is the time of year that I create my new dream journal. Every year I take a 3-ring notebook and I find a picture for it that I put the year on the side, and then I take 12 dividers and with the 12 months. But I'm always challenged this time of year to find the right picture, because it sets the theme for me for the year. So I think I'm going to find a picture of an incredible chocolate-colored stallion.
Ooh,
and that will be the cover picture for my new 2015 dream book.
Yes. Well, I think it's great that you shared that with the viewers, to just remind people how important, we talked earlier about recording your dreams. So I always do encourage people to make it your own, make it personal. You can do what you did. You can even just have a notebook, a free binder notebook that you buy at the supply store. But to have that and to have it, right there by your bed, I encourage people to respond. I'm awakened. Maybe you are this way too. At the twilight time, like 3 or 4 in the morning. In my early days of remembering my dreams, I used to always say, "Oh yes, I know. I'll remember it at 7 or 8 in the morning." And then you just don't. It doesn't always come back.
Oh, it does.
I honor it whenever it comes. What about you?
I do, I do like to give people a break in terms of I never want people to feel like, oh my God, one more thing I have to do to be a perfect person,
right.
And so I encourage, if you can just rehearse it and write maybe just a couple of things down, then immediately when you wake up, although you and I both know that unless you write it down right away, you're likely to lose a lot of it. For me, a dream like this means I'm going to, get up, pad over to the bathroom, sit down, and write my dream out. But it is important to write it right away. The reason I like to use a 3-ring notebook is because then I can add, next to the dream, if I do a dream reentry, I can add that to it. I write out the story of the dream reentry, which we should probably talk about what that is too. But also, if I find pictures or, all the synchronicities that happen with dreams, it gives me the flexibility to add next to the dream. So that's why I like to use it. But any journal, anything that makes you feel good, just as long. Or what else, Lynette, now with iPads and iPhones, you can record.
Yeah.
You can just speak into your... I had one student who used to call her office and leave the dream on her answering machine.
That's good.
And then transcribe it during her lunchtime.
That's great. And also to trust whatever comes, right? Because sometimes people will write something and say, that doesn't make sense. Why would I say that? Why would I write that? Why would I dream that? But it's all connected to your life somehow, so just trust it. If it doesn't make sense now, it may make sense later, yeah?
Absolutely. And how many times have you heard people say, I had the weirdest dream? Weird is the word that comes across. But I always say, listen, it's a whole different language. It's like, if you went to a very remote culture and you wouldn't understand their ways and you wouldn't understand their language, you'd think it was all weird. Once you realize that, there's no gravity in the dream world, you can fly, that, people appear and disappear and objects change shape, then it's no longer weird. You're just used to.
Right.
So, yeah.
And the more you work with your dreams and connect with your dreams, the more that feels as real as sitting in a chair that you can feel with your hands. It's all valid. It's all real. The night dreaming is as valid as the daydreaming. And both of us, we've talked about how we love the word active because it's active, it's vibrant, it's alive, whether we're asleep or whether we're awake. It's all very exciting.
It's all very exciting. Yeah, I like to use the symbol of the Tai Chi, the two phases that flow together, and think of it as your waking life and your dreaming life and how it goes. It's part of the whole. It's part of the flow of your existence on this planet.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk a few minutes about dream reentry and just how that works and how that can even, further enrich the dreaming experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. So many, like we said, active dreaming is a combination of the best of modern dream work with ancient practices. And reentry it has been around for a long time. Shamanic journeying is going into an alternate reality and having real experiences there. Carl Jung talked about active dreaming, active imagination, he called it, and it was the same thing. Go back into your dream and dialogue with characters or continue the experience. But it's a fundamental tool in active dreaming as Robert has developed it, which is whether it's a dream that you just want to enjoy more, you woke up too quick before, that handsome man kissed you, or a dream that somebody was chasing you and you were too afraid, so you woke up out of it, or a dream that you worry might have some kind of heads up about a warning. So many different reasons you can have to go back in a dream. But so it's a matter, I tell people, when you were little, did you have any trouble daydreaming? And people go, absolutely not. And I say it's the same tool you're using, that ability to suspend disbelief and just go back in and dream it forward. Pick a place where you want to re-enter and then just let it evolve. Let yourself see yourself talking to that person or going further in that adventure or being brave with, whatever help you came back into the dream with. And until you feel that the dream resolves itself, until the answers you're looking for come to you. And they do, don't they, Lynette?
Oh, they absolutely do. And you mentioned about the daydreaming, how, when you're young and you're in school and the teachers are like, stop daydreaming, pay attention. And we're like, oh, daydream. Sometimes at work, put the word breathe in my Outlook calendar halfway through the day because I know it's busy, hectic. I skip lunch, and it'll pop up and I'll literally breathe and I'll just stop and daydream for a couple of moments. And it's amazing, like answers to problems, the answers come and you just feel relaxed, you de-stress, it's good for your health. So yeah, this dreaming is, we're onto something there.
We are, Lynette. And sometimes you have a dream that is just so fascinating that it sort of lingers with you, and you can just, I say I've had dreams that I've milked for months, as far as the enjoyment of it but if you're standing in line at the bank and you're bored, just go back into your dream and have a little adventure while you're waiting for the teller to finish with that person.
Just let the chaos go on all around you.
Exactly. That's why I say that dreaming gives us access to two worlds. You know, that it's a matter of just balancing it. Of course, you don't want to not pay attention to the waking world because it has its demands, but having access to the dream world and to all the resources and the energy, because dreams are energy and they give us energy, helps us to deal with our waking world. When you learn to face that nightmare terror, you also learn that you can face a whole lot more in your waking life than maybe you thought you could. So it builds you.
Yeah.
It's empowering. You're absolutely right.
So, Emily,
Yeah.
what do you think is the energy or the strength or the power behind dream theater? How does that work for you?
Oh, you know what I always feel with Dream Theater is that it makes it very clear to me that once you enter into that realm where you're honoring dreams, you're paying attention to dreams, that magic happens. Things happen that you're not leading it, you're not guiding it. The whole idea that a therapist knows what your dream means, it's not true. But in Dream Theater, the unexpected is what you expect. Things happen, people do things that are just amazing, and things come out of people's mouths. Maybe we ought to explain what Dream Theater is, right?
Yeah. So Dream Theater is when someone, let's say Adelita has her dream about the horse. We cast someone as the horse. If there are other people in the dream, we cast the other people. We might cast somebody as a stone. There's energy in that stone. And then this group of dream compadres actually act out the dream of the person who had it and come back with this rich, amazing, wonderful information to share with the dreamer. It's incredible.
It's you're able to take the story just like in theater. So the dream becomes the plot of the play that you're going to act out. The dreamer gets to pick everybody to, like you said, everything in the dream, every object, every character has a person playing it as the role. And so then after it's acted out, the dreamer gets to say, do we need to change anything? Should anything be done? And then we have the big show and play the whole thing again. And what I love is when we're done and after we applaud the incredible performance, people get to speak from the role they played. And you get to hear, the dreamer gets to hear from people these incredible, spontaneous, feeling-based offerings that each person shares with the dreamer about what it was like to be the horse, what it was like to be the gypsy, what it was like to be the ocean waves.
Yeah.
And also, what did it feel for someone to play the dreamer? Because in the first rehearsal, the dreamer is played by another person. So it's like the magic of this spontaneity and the fun and just the laughter that I've experienced.
It's so freeing. It's just such a freeing feeling, and there's no judgment about anything. You're just in it, and you're just being, and you're just doing, and you're just sharing that amazing, incredible energy.
And so many times, you hear, don't forget to play. It's very important to have fun, but that's not something you can just say and not do. But Dream Theater is absolute just fun to do. Even if it's a tough dream, it's still, if it's a difficult dream for the dreamer, it's still the fact that there's all these people who are willing to participate in the drama with this person in order to help them over that hurdle or, through that crossroads. And so even if it's not just fun and it's sometimes a little bit more challenging emotionally, it's the incredible support that Dream Theater gives a person. And also the fact that once you involve yourself in someone else's dream that actively with that much energy, there's a message for each person in it. There's something that each person takes out of it.
Yeah.
So those are the three big tools of active dreaming: lightning dream work, dream reentry, and dream theater. And any way,
tool.
yeah, anyone.
So Evelyn, why do you think a dream practice is vital for people to have as a part of their, their existence here and now?
Because I think that we're spiritual beings living a physical life, and I think that dreams are the bridge to where we came from and to where we're going. So I think that we were placed here with this umbilical cord to the world that we belong in. And when we learn how to dialogue and connect back to that world, it becomes something that gives us our own authority about what is vital for us, what's important. We don't need to listen to anyone else tell us this is good, this is bad, you need to believe this, you need to believe that. When I teach people how to connect with their dreams, I say, you don't have to believe anything that I tell you. All I want is for you to experience what comes to you. So that's why, Lynette, I think it's our blankie. It's our connection. It's our safety net.
Yeah, and you said something really important, which is, I think, that everybody's the best person to analyze their dream. I always tell people, I'm not doing anything that anyone else can't do. We all have the ability to do this. We've been trained to ask the questions to sort of help open that door, open the mind, open the heart to have that exploration. But they're the person who's living their life. They're the person who are best suited to actually be able to analyze what that dream is and to trust what comes and to work with the energy of what comes. And again, this is what we can do now to help the generations to come. It's amazing that the small children that I know whose parents really encouraged them when they were young to really embrace their dreams and believe in what they were seeing, and now they're just the most incredible, amazing young adults we've ever seen.
Absolutely. When you said that everyone is their own authority about their dreams, the most common question that I hear about dreams is, what does it mean? It's always so funny because you want to give people back the sense of power that you know what it means. You'll know if you ponder it, if you stay with it, if you live with it. It's not an intellectual knowing. It's a process of coming. It's almost like you're meeting yourself. You're definitely meeting your higher self. So, and with children, I'm sorry about the phone.
You know what? It's real life, and we just go with the flow.
What's really important about children, I think, with dreaming is that I think we're really in danger of dulling children's natural imagination because we put them in front of the television and we let someone else's imagination fill their minds, fill their vision of what's funny, of what's interesting, But when we let our children connect with dreams, when we make them feel safe with their dreaming, then it's their own imagination that's blossoming, and they have access to a font of creativity that I don't know where else they're going to get it in our culture. So I think it's essential.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, Adelita, I can't believe it. Our time is almost up already.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so I want to turn it over to you again for a few minutes. I want you to tell people again how they can reach you, how they can connect with you.
Well, please, visit me on Facebook, leave me a message, Lita Dreaming, and let me know if you're interested. I have groups starting up in January. If you're in Connecticut, I would love to know that you're interested, and perhaps you might want to become a part of one of them. PsycheProductions.net is the website that you can find me at, and then visit my blog spot, Lita Dreaming, and let me know what you think and what else, how I might be able to answer some questions for you.
Guide them on the path. Guide them on the path.
Or share in the fun. It's
Share
such
the
a
fun.
it's such a pleasure to be here with you, Lynette. I have
Oh, I'm delighted. I'm so happy to have you on the show. It's been
well,
awesome. You're awesome, and so I'm always delighted whenever I can have a way to connect with you. So this has been a wonderful and amazing, fun way to do that.
it's same here, and I think what you're offering people in terms of the variety of ways that they can uplift themselves and get out of the morass of what so much of our culture sort of induces in people. So your positive energy, but also your wisdom and your beautiful ministering is very much needed, and I'm sure appreciated by the people you touch.
Oh, mwah.
Mwah.
So, Adelita, if you were going to leave the viewers with a final thought of something you would want them to take away from the conversation we've had tonight, what would you say to them?
I would say something that Robert said in our The Way of the Dreamer DVD. He ended the first program with, "We're born to fly, and in dreams we discover that the soul has wings."
Ooh, that's beautiful.
I think it's beautiful, yeah.
Makes me want to go into a dream space tonight and fly again. I love flying. The thing is,
Isn't
when I'm
flying?
flying, the thing is, when I'm flying like that, I don't want to come back, and then the powers that be like, you have to go back. You're not done yet. You have to go back into your body. So,
I know.
Thank you so much, Adelita. Thanks again. And I
Thank
want to
you.
thank all of the viewers out there for joining us, and I want to remind you that it's all about bliss. BLISS. To lead life to something special. Because it is, and so are you. And you can all connect with me again via my website, www.positivebliss.com. Sign up for that free positivity newsletter or weekly messages. And it's amazing how just having that one line or two can just get you the energy you want, give you the vision you want. I work a lot with positive visualization, really seeing what it is we want to have transpire in our lives, which we can do through the dream energy as well. But tap into those positivity messages by connecting that way, by signing up. And I encourage everybody to take a walk through the landscape of positivity. I'm really sure that you will appreciate and enjoy the view if you're there in the land of positivity. And know that when you work with the energy of the dreams, you can help it deal with issues and challenges, but it's also fun to just go into the dream space for fun. I know we talk a lot about how we can solve our problems and those sort of things by going to the dream space, but it's also perfectly valid and fun to have an image of a beautiful field of flowers or a beautiful mountainscape or that beautiful horse that Adelita had, and just go into the dream space and dance and play and enjoy the energy of that experience, and then bring it back to our waking life, and then you'll walk through your life with that incredible, amazing energy because it's very positive and it's all good. It's all good, right, Adelita?
It's all good,
It's
Lynette.
all good. So I will see you again right here next time on the Positivologist is in the house. Everybody be well. Take care.